Good morning everyone. So, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Chloe. I am a creator, writer and musician, and today, as you can tell by the title and this mug, yes, I'm doing yet another coffee talk. I tend to do my coffee talks when I have like something to update you on, life updates, what's going on in my life, and with my projects, like with my book projects, and we are now like on number 6. I don't actually have this coffee talk planned out like I would have my other ones planned out. I'm not going to drink my coffee straight away just because it is still hot, and it's my second coffee of the day, because at this point a second coffee has pretty much become a part of my routine now. But basically I just have a normal drink as well because you gotta stay hydrated. But this coffee talk is literally just going to be me talking about life and what's been going on for me recently. And I feel like the first point to make is Camp NaNoWriMo, because even though this coffee talk isn't going up until the 17th of August, it is actually the 27th of July for me. Yeah, that's way too hot, I can't drink that yet. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is Camp NaNoWriMo, the one just gone, the one that happened in July. Obviously this year has just been like a shit whirlpool basically. Not literally, obviously. But this whole year, 2020, has just been a pile of shit for a lot of people, because obviously with Corona going on, a lockdown and a second spike. And if you didn't know, I'm actually on the autism spectrum. I have high functioning autism, so I have Asperger's basically. And so just being like autistic in the first place creates some like limitations and barriers in the first place with, you know, with coronavirus. But then the one main thing for like people like me is change. The world is constantly changing, rules are constantly changing, and I have genuinely found it very hard to keep up, and I have to keep adjusting to the new rules. And I know it's not just me, because there are loads of like autistic people out there that probably feel the same as me. In that aspect of life, I found that very difficult, which has meant in turn, I'm talking a lot with my hands, I'm sorry, just roll with it. So that in turn has obviously made me like a lot more anxious, and I've definitely noticed like during this coronavirus pandemic, I wouldn't say the aftermath, because we've probably got a long way to go before we get to the aftermath, because that is going to be hell, just trying to like pick things back up after, you know, lockdown, because it's not over yet. In my head, I am still abiding by the stay-at-home rule, apart from the fact of like going to work and sometimes leaving the house to go to the shop. I literally feel like I am still in that stay-at-home mindset, and that is really bad for my anxiety, because if I am not leaving the house, I feel like very trapped. I feel like I'm not going to say the walls. I'm not going to say I feel like the walls are like caving in on me, because that's not how I feel. I just feel trapped. Like, days like this don't help when it is pissing it down with rain. I mean, it was worse yesterday, to be fair. The whole situation has just made me feel very trapped, which has very much so affected my mental health. I thought that I was okay. Before like coronavirus happened and lockdown happened, my anxiety was fine. I was doing really well, and I felt good. And then coronavirus hit, lockdown happened, and it was kind of like my anxiety was like going down just before. Basically, it feels like my anxiety levels were like going, like creeping down, and then as soon as like coronavirus hit and lockdown hit, oh whoop! That's literally what it feels like. I don't know which way, but that's what it feels like. It's like it's skyrocketed, and at first I thought I was adjusting well, but I was probably not. I was probably dealing with things like the wrong way, because I was fine in April, then May I had a breakdown, June I was okay, and now July, wow, because I'm still in July, it feels like I might have another breakdown. Maybe I'll probably end up having another breakdown in August. You can't predict these things, which, you know, in times like this, it's understandable because we are still in unpredictable times. In other words, coronavirus or COVID, whatever you want to call it, lockdown and everything, that hit me. It really hit me hard. It's kind of like it came in, hit me hard in the chest and knocked me back, I guess almost back into my old ways of like how I used to do things before I started to like gain better control over my anxiety. Yeah, it literally feels like the wind has been knocked out of me, and it's not a good feeling. But I feel like maybe I've gone on a bit of a tangent, because I was going to be talking about Camp NaNoWriMo as well, because we need to address it, because obviously with this whole situation going on, you know, my anxiety spiking as well as coronavirus, which I feel like is very relatable. Because of that, my sleep has also been affected a lot. My sleep is basically just all over the place. There are days where I get like the normal amount of sleep, like 7-8 hours. Not that I've gotten 8 hours of sleep in a while, which is probably really bad. Like, I need 8 hours of sleep to function. But then I have 2 cups of coffee in the morning. When I don't have 8 hours, 2 cups of coffee in the... Oh my god, 2 cups of coffee in the morning when I get less than 8 hours of sleep. I have definitely grown dependent on coffee. Okay, that's still hard. Yeah, my sleep has been... Basically, it's fucked with my sleep, which is it's definitely a bad thing, but then I've kind of started seeing like the positive side of it, because obviously in those late hours of the night, the reason why I see it as a bad thing is because when you don't get as much sleep, obviously your mental health suffers, and just I feel like your whole body just kind of suffers trying to function. I mean, I guess in a way caffeine kind of helps in a way. Yeah, I also feel like because I don't get as much sleep now, I feel like my average at the moment is probably about 6 hours, which to me is bad, because I cannot function on 6 hours of sleep. I just cannot. I mean, I can just about function on 7 hours. I basically need 7+ hours of sleep to have a good night. So last night was not a good night because I only got 4.5 hours of sleep. The other side of it is that in those early hours of the morning where I don't get to sleep, my brain is obviously like constantly whirring, constantly working. So in a way, they're like my most creative hours. Because of that, like in a way it could be a good thing, but then I think the main reason why I see it as a bad thing is because if I am not getting enough sleep and, you know, I'm going out, I'm going to work, I'm going to the shops, I work in a shop, obviously I'm wearing a face mask. What I was going to say is that because I'm not getting enough sleep at night, I feel like it does kind of mess with your like bodily functions and everything, and it also affects your ability to kind of like fight off illnesses and viruses like coronavirus. So if I'm not getting enough sleep at night and I'm going out and I'm kind of like, oh, what's the word? If that virus is around me and like those thin like droplets get to me, and like if I feel like basically what I'm trying to say is that because I don't get enough sleep at night and my bodily functions aren't working as well as they should be, you know, if I get coronavirus, I feel like my body isn't going to be able to fight it off as well as like a healthy person would. So, long story short, I just feel like my body wouldn't be able to cope with getting coronavirus. But then I also do know that there are other people that are at a higher risk. People like my boyfriend that are asthmatic. I know it could be like, I know it could kill him. That's kind of like my life at the moment, and because of like all of that, because I'm not sleeping very well, my anxiety is high, I've been finding it really difficult to focus on my Camp NaNoWriMo projects. July was actually like the first ever month that I was kind of like project hopping. To be honest, I've just never done it before, and I'm going to be continuing to do it throughout August, I think. So I have been really enjoying it. I've been going between Stick Stones and Broken Bones and Scarlet Blood Skies, the whole series. I need to work on the whole series. I've also started working on a screenplay, in a way, and I have cracked out one of my new notebooks. It's a very thick notebook, and I just love the design on it, which is basically what I'm going to be using to plan out that. And that kind of leads me on to the other thing, college. So if you didn't know, I have been going to college for the past 3 years. My first year I did a foundation course, foundation studies, because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So I decided to do that to kind of see what I wanted to do, and I could do like a bunch of different things. My second year I did level 2 music. I basically skipped level 1 because I went from entry level 3 in foundation studies to level 2 music because I had the qualifications. And then my third year, so this year just gone, I did the first year of level 3 music. And then towards the end I kind of knew that I wasn't enjoying it as much as I used to. I realised that music is only like a hobby for me, and I wanted it to stay that way. I started thinking about what my options were, because I think it was like back in, let's say, I think it must have been April. Back in April I was thinking, right, gotta get my head down, get a good grade, because this is my final year. A couple months later, I really wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something different, and I don't know what was going through my head, but I think, was it in May or June? One of the 2 months, was I making videos? Yes, I took a hiatus in May, I remember now, and then I came back on June 1st, and I think I was doing like 3 videos a week because I had so many ideas, and I loved it. No, I was doing 2 videos a week because it was July that was supposed to be the 3 weeks. That went downhill because I realised I didn't have enough ideas. I really enjoyed myself in June, with the amount of videos I was doing. I really enjoyed it, and the part that I loved the most was editing. I don't know what it is about the editing process, but it makes me so happy seeing a video just come together as one and seeing a video just flow really nicely. I love my videos being I guess the word it would be polished. I'm putting that loosely just because I wouldn't necessarily use that word, but I just love seeing videos, like I just love seeing my videos like coming together and being polished, everything coming together, as in like, say with like these like main channel videos, what was it, my Sunday and self-care routine that I did back in July, that was one of my favourite videos to edit, because I got to do like a couple of different aspects to it, because I was doing audio and a voiceover, and a voiceover is something that I have never done before, and because of that it was a challenge. Personally, I love a challenge, so I just really enjoyed making that video. I loved seeing it all come together as one. I'm actually really happy, like I was really happy with the final result of that video. I mean, oh my god, that video went up today because I'm filming this on the 27th of July. But yeah, I basically really enjoyed the process of making that Sunday and self-care routine. But the actual thing that I was like going to say about like that whole thing, because obviously when I came back in June from like a month-long hiatus pretty much, I was really enjoying it, and I was like enjoying that editing phase because I just for some reason loved it. And so it really made me think. So yeah, it must have been in June where I had this like realisation of what I wanted to do with my life. It's kind of like where this career shift kind of started. And I came back in June, really enjoying it. So, and then a few weeks in, actually no, it must have been May. It must have been May, because I remember doing a coffee talk all about this. Like I remember doing like a whole career chat and college chat where I was talking about this and like my idea for what I want to do in the future. But I guess now I have more of a definitive answer. If I hold this coffee like here, then maybe I'll be less inclined to use my hands. But yeah, it was, I think it was like back at like the end of May, beginning of June, when I started to think about like my whole career as a whole. Obviously with what I knew with video editing, because obviously I was really enjoying it. I started thinking about doing like a creative media course at college. So that's kind of where it all started. That's where it all like stemmed from. I don't know what it is about it, but just behind the scenes to me is just, you know, the part that I love about things, like the post-production like phase. It's definitely my favourite, and I love being like behind the scenes of like my videos. Obviously I like being in my videos as well. When you're a YouTuber, you obviously like edit your own videos, and I've definitely noticed that as this like career shift has kind of started, that a lot of people have like different editing styles. Like people will use different editing softwares, people will use different equipment, people will use like a load of different equipment to film. Then they will have like a whole setup they have for like editing, and then they also have their own like process of uploading. And that post-production phase is, you know, everyone has their own style with like editing videos specifically, because I'm the type of person that will edit out all of my ums, ahs and ands. I would definitely count that as my editing style. And then obviously I feel I don't want this to come across in the wrong way, but I like see other people's videos, and you know, they don't cut those things out of their videos, and they won't cut like small silences out, and those videos are a lot more chilled. And then there's me. I don't know how I come across, but I feel like because of my editing style, I feel like I'm much more succinct. Is that the right word? I don't know. I might not even be making any sense to you, but you get what I mean. Wow, I've been going off on a lot of tangents, but yes. Going back to like the career shift, it all kind of started at the end of May, beginning of June. And after that realisation, I obviously had to talk about it with like my family, like because obviously I'm 19, I would have to pay for it. I talked to my parents about it, I also talked to my boyfriend about it, and I think, yeah, I also talked about it with a couple of people from college, because like college was still like open, but it was all online. So I was still able to talk to people at college about it, and that then led on to me applying for the level 3 TV and film course. I applied for that course, and then I had my interview with the lecturer of the course. I think that was the end of June, I want to say. Yes, because it was the day before my birthday. I remember now. I had the interview. Obviously, I had a glowing recommendation from my previous lecturer, like with the level 3 music I was doing last year. He gave the creative media lecturer a glowing recommendation, according to, like, in her words, that was what she said. Obviously, I'm still waiting for my level 3 music results. That'll be coming out on August 13th. I really hope I really want a merit, because I know that I'm not going to get a distinction from my final project. I got a conditional offer for the level 3 TV and film course, kind of like based on my results for music, level 3 music. And I have been kind of confused, because naturally with level 3 courses, they will usually be 2 years long. And so I only did 1 year of level 3 music, and I think I might have gotten an automated email saying, oh, enrollment for the second year is... And I think that's really confused me. Right, yeah, and because of this massive career shift, the last few months I think have probably been quite hard for me to get like adjusted, because obviously it's a big change. Of course it is. It would be a big change for anyone. Because of that, I'm obviously pouring my heart and soul into my videos to make them the best that they can be, which I think is kind of why I've now gone back to 2 videos a week, because it's just much more easier. It's a big career shift, and I feel like I've definitely been a lot more focused on myself recently, just trying to better myself, make sure my videos are the best they can be. I think I was just saying about the fact that I've been really focused on myself a lot more recently, which is definitely a good thing, because I'm focusing on myself so much. I feel like other aspects of my life are kind of failing, but not really, because they're still standing. I feel like just right now for me, I'm just, I guess, trying to find balance between everything, because obviously, because I then also have, a relationship to focus on as well, because I've been with my boyfriend for over a year now. I've been thinking about it in my head as like career versus relationship, and obviously, yes, at the moment I'm much more focused on my career, as I should be. I don't really want my relationship to fall to the wayside. It won't, because I know it won't. It's not a case of feeling like career versus relationship. It should be career before relationship. With everything going on right now, I feel like I just feel like I've got a lot on my plate if I keep project hopping, but I'm gonna keep doing it anyway, because I'm not gonna stop now that I've started, am I? I feel like life recently has just been a lot to deal with, so I guess in a way it makes sense that my mental health has kind of been wobbly as well and unstable. But it's like, when was I ever stable? I just feel like I've never really been, stable in that area of my life, mental health. At the moment, it's trying to just balance a load of different things: career, relationship, a load of different projects that I can't seem to finish, but I will finish. It's not like I'm not going to finish them, because I know I will, and I know I can, and I know I have the ability to do that. Balance is key And I feel like that is what I'm trying to find, and it's just a case of carrying on as I am, being happy. I think that's what is key here, just being happy. So finding balance and being happy are like the two main important things to get out of this. I'm almost done with my coffee, which is about time because this is going to be a very long coffee talk. I apologise. That is going to be it for this coffee talk. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also make sure to subscribe down below and ding the bell to be notified every single time I upload, if that's what you would like, because you can click all, personalised or none when you like click the bell. So if you wish to be notified every single time I upload, then you can click all, if you so wish to, that is. All of my social media links will be listed down below, and that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! I haven't done that in so long.